This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Yesterday we were talking about something related to business process, company organization structure, in which we started understanding related to company code. So wherein we understood on what basis you will need to create a company code and how you will decide how many company codes to be created for any organization or in any project. Those who are not talking, please go on mute. All right. Now we will try to understand what other key points which we need to understand with respect to understanding SAP FICO as a prerequisite. Now let's say that we understood that there is a company which we will be creating. In short, we decided a company code to be created. Let's assume that we decided a company code that we will be creating. Once you decide a company code that is going to be created, immediately we need to understand few more subsequent points with which you are going to understand how you are going to move forward with it. First point is your country. First point is your country, meaning once we decide a company code, it can be anything. You are free to take any name to practice your company code while you are understanding, while you are trying to learn SAP FICO. But keep in your mind, the moment you take a company code, immediately take a country in which you are going to create this company code. You are free to take again any country, but it is always recommended you take your home country here. When I say you take your home country, if you are learning from India, try to create a company code for Indian company for the first time. If you are from US, try to create a company code for US country for the first time. Similarly, if you are from any other country, your country company code is what you need to create, because you are more comfortable, you are more familiar with your country specific accounting first. First, it is strictly recommended you to create a company code for your home country. For example, you are creating a company code for India. For example, if you are creating a company code for India, highlight your country India. Likewise, any country. The moment you highlight your country India, you need to understand certain local accounting parameters related to India. When we're talking about certain local parameters related to India, we're talking about basically reporting. Now, if you're talking about reporting in India, according to what accounting we need to prepare the financials in India?
Indian accounting standards.
Indian accounting
Right? You have to follow IAS, Indian Accounting Standard. Now, when you're talking about reports, what is the reporting requirement or what is the reporting cycle to be followed in India? What is the financial year, accounting year in India?
April to March.
to March.
April to 31st March.
Right? April to March is the reporting requirement for India. Now, when you're talking about this fixed asset, when you're talking about the fixed asset, now your fixed assets are depreciated based on life or based on percentage.
Based on life.
Useful life.
Life.
Right? In India, you are going to depreciate your fixed asset based on the life. Now, how your taxes are calculated in India?
The April to March.
How
According
taxes
to
are
the
calculated? What is that taxation called in India?
Indian income tax. Indian income tax.
GST. Right? In short, GST is what you follow in India. Like this, there are certain key parameters which one company must follow in India. Agree? There are no exceptions to any country with respect to this. Am I correct?
Correct.
There are no in India whosoever doing business. Meaning, when you're creating a company code, when you're doing practice in SAP, are these points become mandatory or not at the beginning itself? Yes,
Yes.
these points will become mandatory at the beginning itself. Without knowing these points, without knowing these parameter, you cannot start anything in SAP. ignoring this point, without knowing this point, if you are starting to create company code, to start working on configuration, to start posting debit credit accounting entries, on what basis we are posting the entry, on what basis we are going to evaluate our entries are correct or not. If you do not know what are the basic parameters from the base point of view only at the high level, if you know these points at high level, whatever you are practicing, whatever you are creating, you will slowly start to understand, okay, in India, if my company code is created, these are the parameters which will become mandatory. Let me follow this point. At least if you have an idea while doing different configuration, while posting different accounting entries, while generating different reports, you will slowly understand. At the end, what is required while you're practicing, while you're preparing, you have to visualize a real company who is using SAP, what kind of requirement they will be getting, how they will be using SAP. Now, for you to get these points striking in your mind, first of all, you must be aware of it. Once you're aware of these points, when you start working on SAP, automatically different points, different questions, different confusions will start striking your mind. And slowly we need to work on each and every confusion, each and every doubt, whatever we are getting, you have to keep on clarifying. That is how you will understand, that is how you'll improve your skill set. If these are all not coming, you're not getting any confusion, you're not getting any doubt, straight away you're trying to practice whatever you're being referring or whatever you're explained, it is not going to add any value as you move forward. Because imagine a company working in the real environment using SAP, they will have a lot of requirement. They will have a lot of issues, they'll have a lot of things going on in SAP on a daily basis. We need to make sure at least minimum mandatory points we are comfortable with. Tomorrow you talk to anybody, other person should not feel that this candidate does not know SAP FICO properly. That impression, that feel you should never give to anybody. Whosoever you talk with, whosoever you discuss with, let the other person feel that yes, this candidate is good at subject. It is in your hands only. Nobody will say any, give me some reference who will tell that you are good at the subject. Nobody will ask for any references. Everybody will get to know the way you talk, the way you perform. So it is all within you only, how you are developing your subject, how you are talking, how you are explaining, how you are convincing the other person is what you need to understand as a consultant. Meaning the moment you call yourself as a consultant, you are going to talk to different people. As a consultant, you are going to talk, you are going to meet different people, different users, different client, different project managers, different other consultants. Please make sure you are confident, you are comfortable enough with the subject to handle everybody, to handle different kind of situations. If you are not thinking at this level right from the beginning, you are going in a different direction, which will start creating a lot of problems once you enter any organization. Okay, these points you need to initially understand. Next point, now in every organization, there are two types of audits. In every organization, there are two types of audit. What are those two audits called as?
Internal and external.
Internal audit and external audit.
Right? Internal audit and external audit. Is this correct? Every organization contains two types of audits, internal audits plus external audit. When you're talking about internal audit, every company will have internal auditor appointed in their organization. Yes, no?
Yes.
Every company will have internal auditor to make sure before you go for external auditing or before your financials are audited by external auditing a company, you will make sure internally you have audited everything, so that when your financials are being audited by external auditor, they will not find any mistake. Now, any company financial statement without external audit confirmation, are they valid?
No, sir.
Without external auditing confirmation, any financial statement of any organization, is it valid or invalid?
It is Invalid, sir.
This is invalid. When you're talking about audit, if you're talking about Indian company, who is the auditor? What is the auditor qualification?
CA.
CA is the auditor, chartered accountant. What this CA will do, CA is going to validate your financials. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
CA or chartered
Yeah.
accountant is going to validate the financial statement like trial balance, P&L, balance sheet. From this financial statement, he will pick up some sample. When they pick up some sample, they want the client or they want the user to produce the supporting document. Is my statement correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they will ask for different
Yes.
kind of report. Give me purchase register, give me sales register, give me total financial transaction dump. Okay, give me your inventory movement report, give me your debtor outstanding, give me your creditor outstanding, give me your stock aging, give me your asset depreciation calculation logic, give me your asset revaluation report. Different kind of reports will be asked by the auditor. Now anywhere, if your user, if your client is not comfortable or they are not clear with what information to be given from the system, who your client or user will approach?
We'll approach an auditor external.
The auditor is raising a query. Auditor is requesting for some details, some reports, some information. Now the client or user is not understanding how to pull that information, how to share the data. They will reach out to whom?
End user.
They will reach out to us, sir.
Users.
They will reach out to a FICO consultant.
End
Right?
user.
They will be reaching out to the FICO consultant. Auditor will give a request to the user. Okay, if user is able to pull the data, if user is able to prepare the data, he will directly give it to the auditor. If user is not able to understand how to get this information from system, what user will do, what your client will do, he will reach out to a FICO consultant. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Now, as a FICO consultant, you need to address this query, you need to address these kind of issues on priority, or you can take your time.
You should take it as a
So we have
priority.
to address this.
On
Yeah.
priority.
Right? These are all supposed to be taken on priority because auditor had requested for certain information or auditor had raised a query. Auditor is asking for a clarification. If your user client is not able to do it or provide it, they will reach out to you stating that this is the information which auditor is asking. Can you please help us how to get this information? Can you please clarify how this numbers or how this report is working in SAP? Now, as a FICO consultant, is it okay if we say, no, I do not know, this is data entry related, this is reporting, you need to handle internally? Can we say that?
No.
No.
You cannot say that because you are working for the same client, right? You are the consultant for the same client. Now, you must be knowing, you must be aware how their SAP system is working, how that report is working, how their entries are allowed, and how do they prepare a data, how do they extract a data. You must be in a position to help them out. If you are not in a position to help them out, will it give a positive impression or it will give a negative impression?
Negative.
Right? It will give a negative impression. Not necessary you should know, but you have to know these points. When you know this is how you will get the situations, when you know this is how you will get the requirement when you're in a project, if you are at least aware of this point, while preparing, while practicing, you will take care of all these points. Okay, I will be getting these kind of situations. I will be coming across these kind of scenarios. Let me know how I'm going to handle this. Tomorrow in your interview or anywhere, somebody is asking you to explain something where you find it very difficult, where you worked on high priority related incident, or where you worked on something which is very complicated, tricky situation, difficult situation for you. This is what you need to talk. You'll have to talk something which is very much possible, which will hold high value. And here you need to ensure what are all this. Now, as a consultant, do we need to know these points or not?
Yes.
Yes, we need to know.
As a consultant, you have to know. You cannot say, I know only the configuration, these things I do not know, don't ask me. You cannot say. You have to know this, right? You have to know this point. There is no exception to this point. Now, when you're talking about auditing, you have to understand what do you mean by auditing, what will happen in the auditing, what data is validated in the auditing, and what control points there in the system. When you're talking about auditing, it is related to so many points, right? When I say auditing, it is related to so many points. Your auditor will also ask for the control points or not. System controls.
Yes. Yes.
Right? When you say system controls, your auditor is more interested on what control points you have with respect to a process. For example, you're creating any vendor or you're making any payment, how your payment is processed, or let's say you're doing any sale. Okay, whenever you're making any sale, you have to deliver the goods and services.
Yes.
Right? When you're delivering the goods and services to a client or to a customer, your auditor might ask what control points you have on these deliveries. For example, if a customer is placing an order today, what is the time that you're taking to deliver the goods? Who is going to deliver the goods? What control points you have to it? For example, customer is raising an order for 5 quantity, and will your system allow you to deliver more than 5 quantity? Then you have to think. For example, customer is giving invoice for 1000 rupees, and can you receive the payment more than 1000 on invoice? Like let's say if your vendor is giving the invoice, how do you ensure that you are not making any duplicate invoice posting? How do you ensure you are not making any duplicate payment? They might put this kind of point. This kind of a point, definitely your user will not be able to answer. Your user will tell, no, I'm not sure about this technical part. Let me involve my IT person, or let me involve my SAP team or our FICO consultant. He or she will simply put you in the email chain. They say that looping Mr. SAP FICO consultant. Now you may have to respond. Can you ignore these kind of emails?
No.
You cannot ignore. You have to write something. You have to give a convincing answer. You cannot say, no, I do not know. Imagine these kind of situations you will be coming across in your projects while you're working. If you're considering these kind of situations, if you're considering these kind of scenarios during your training, during your understanding, learning itself, there is nothing complicated than this in SAP. This is what is complicated cases. This is what is your complex scenarios, which you will come across at your level, at your stage. If you're looking at these kind of scenarios and considering these points, you're preparing, you're practicing, definitely as you move forward, any situation that you're coming across, you're not going to get scared. You're not going to feel that uncomfortable. You're not going to think that, this is very tough, difficult. Because anything that is coming across in your way, once you get a job, while you're in the interview, you should feel this is very simple, or you should be comfortable, confident enough. This comes when your actual situation is lower than your preparation. Am I correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
If you're preparing at a level and your actual interview, your actual work profile is lower than that standard, you definitely feel comfortable, confident. If it is the other way around, interview is higher than what you prepared, in the project they're asking you to do so many things, so many terminologies, so many points you're hearing for the first time, you will definitely be uncomfortable, right? Not confident, because you do not know what it is, and you do not know how to know about it, whom to ask, how to learn. You are completely clueless. These kind of situations you need to avoid. How you will avoid? By knowing what is what right from the beginning. And here you should not know everything. When I say you should not know everything, you need to know things which are required at your level. When we say at your level, you should know whatever is required. You're all aware at what level you will be entering the market. Maybe 3-year experience, 4-year experience, 5-year experience, 6-year experience. Considering this level of experience, whatever the skill set that you should hold in the market, only that skill set you should possess. And in that, you need to have a clear clarity on what areas you will be majoritarily working on a daily basis. Only on those points, only on those areas, you have to put more focus. Not on the things that you will not work on a daily basis, not on the things that you can learn on your own also. Simple things that can be easily learned, don't put more focus on it. Put more focus on the areas where you will be working on a daily basis, where you will get queries, where you have to talk, explain to the different people. That will give you more confidence, that will allow you to feel comfortable in the project. Right? These points you'll have to understand. Next thing that you'll have to understand here is, you need to look at what kind of entries are posted in your organization or in your company. Basically, you have sales, purchases. This is common everywhere.
Yes.
Any organization, any company that you take, sales and purchases are common. You need to understand how sales are happening, how purchases are happening. First of all, if you talk about purchases, this is something that is very, very important for everyone to understand. And when you are making any kind of a purchases, how do we purchase? How a company will make a purchase in any organization?
First they will
When
inquiry,
demand rise,
inquiry,
through procure to
then
pay, like sourcing
requirement
the
based on
production
requirement.
and based on
Okay,
the
so
agreement.
in short, there are two types of purchases. One
Direct
is direct purchase, another one is PO purchase. Anybody heard direct purchases and PO purchases?
yes,
When you're talking about a direct purchases, there is no need of any purchase order. You will take money, you will go to a store, or you will call a supplier asking them to supply the product. He will give the product, you will pay money. That's all. But when it comes to a PO purchase, what will happen? There is a systematic order, systematic flow, sequence, process,
yes,
right? Whatever the way you want, you cannot purchase it. Before you make any purchases, there must be a purchase order. This purchase order must be approved by the management, and then you need to issue this official purchase document to the supplier. Based on the purchase order, supplier will supply the goods and services. Somebody will validate, account it, then you will receive the invoice. Somebody will again validate, approve the invoice. Somebody will book the invoice, then you will make the payment. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Similarly, when you're talking about sale, you have again direct sales, sales order sale. Majoritarily, companies will not make direct sale, right? Everything is based on sales order only. You will receive the order from the customer. Based on the order that you receive from the customer, you will see whether the stock is available or not.
Correct.
Right? Now, accordingly, you will decide if the stock is available, you will deliver it immediately. If stock is not available, you will decide whether to purchase the product or to manufacture the product. Then you will invoice the customer, you will receive the payment. Now, majoritarily in any organization, sales and purchases are with the help of, let's say this is option number 1, option number 2. What is the majority of the cases in any organization for sales purchases? Option 1 or option 2?
Oh, shoot.
option 2,
Option 2.
In every organization, your sales purchases is a strictly option number 2. When we say it is a strictly option number 2, any purchases, whatever you take in any organization, they are strictly option number 2 based on the purchase order. How this purchase order is connected to your accounting? What is that point called?
Goods receipt.
No, there is a process to it. called FIMM integration. Anybody heard this?
Yes.
Right? This is mandatory topic to be questioned in every interview that you attend for SAP FICO. Okay, those who have background noise, please mute yourself. Okay, in every interview, you will be questioned about FIMM integration. Similarly, anything related to sales is called as what integration?
FIST.
FIST.
FIST integration. These two are mandatory for every FICO consultant because sales are mandatory in every organization. Purchases are mandatory in every organization. Now sales purchases are strictly based on sales order, purchase order. Sales order, purchase order is connected to accounting with the help of FIMM, FIST integration. Am I clear?
Yes.
Right? Even before you get into SAP, before you log into SAP, you should know all the key points in such a way that even when you are learning SAP FICO, you are practicing SAP FICO, you should know these are the key points. I need to understand this process clearly because this is what on a daily basis your client will be working on. Okay. Now this FIST integration is basically called as O2C cycle. What do you mean by O2C?
Order to
Order
cash.
to cash.
Order to
Order to
cash.
cash.
Order to cash. Similarly, your FIMM integration is called as what cycle?
P2P.
Okay.
P2P cycle. What do you mean by P2P?
Procure to
Procure
pay.
to pay.
Right? Procure to pay or procurement to payment cycle. This is the 2 points that you need to understand at the beginning itself. And in every interview that you attend for SAP FICO, these 2 points are mandatory. Without these 2 questions, nobody will complete SAP FICO interview. Am I correct?
Yes.
No excuses here. It is not that you are going to prepare this, you are going to understand it as part of SAP topic. Everywhere it is the same. In general accounting, it is the same. In SAP also, it is the same. So there is nothing that you are learning for newly in SAP. It is the same out of SAP also. P2P cycle, O2C cycle, whatever we use in general accounting, in SAP also it is the same. But we call it as FIST integration, FIMM integration, which you need to clearly have an understanding. Okay, next thing, when you're talking about it, the important point that you will get here is, let's say, day to day accounting transaction. Every day you will have different kind of accounting transactions, agree? Maybe different kind of payments you receive, payments you will make, administration expenses you will make, different receipts you will get. Day to day you will have so many accounting entries happening in every organization. All these accounting entries, how a client, how a user will record in SAP, you need to understand. Let it be your asset related, liability related, income related, expense related. Any transaction related to asset, liability, income, expense, you must know how they are recorded. When you know how these entries are recorded, you'll have to classify your accounting entry. On what basis accounting entry is created? Basically, to create any accounting entry, you need a debit, you need a credit. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
To create any accounting entry, you need a debit, you need a credit. SAP is not an exception. In SAP also you need a debit, you need a credit. Is this debit credit logic any exemption from SAP or it is mandatory in SAP also?
It's mandatory.
It is mandatory.
Right? It is mandatory in SAP also. You are learning SAP FICO, you are getting into IT side, software side. Don't think that you don't need to do SAP accounting. Sorry, you don't need to know accounting. You must know accounting. If you do not know, you have to revise, you have to refresh your accounting knowledge. No exceptions here. Okay, debit credit you must understand how system is posting because Based on your settings only, system is going to post debit and credit accounting entry. Here in SAP, when you start posting any organization related accounting entry, SAP will not accept directly. When we say SAP will not accept directly, because SAP, is it a ready to use application or not ready to use application?
Not ready to use.
Not ready to use application.
Right? SAP is not a ready to use application. You have to set up SAP according to your business requirement, according to your business process. When we say according to business requirement, you need to set up SAP. In short, we are talking about we have to customize SAP. Am I correct?
Yes.
When you buy SAP, you have to customize SAP based on client business process. Is it supposed to be customized based on the client business process or based on your knowledge?
Based on
Client business process, client requirement.
Right? Clearly, based on the client business process only, you have to set up, you have to customize SAP. Not that I learned SAP FICO, I created 10 company codes before. You keep quiet, you sit, aram say, I will do it everything. Nobody will accept it. You have to understand your client business requirement. According to the client business requirement, only then set up SAP. And straight away, can we set up SAP in any project? So this customization is basically called as configuration. Am I correct?
Yes.
This customization is basically called as configuration. Am I correct?
Yes.
In any project, do you directly do the configuration or before configuration, any activity we perform?
Blueprint activity we have to perform.
Before we need some activities.
So before doing configuration, what do we do in a project? Basically, you call it as requirement gathering, correct? What else?
After requirement gathering, we need to do blueprint.
Right? Let's say as is
to be fit and gap.
To be study. Okay.
Fit and gap.
Or you can say fit gap analysis. Okay. And then
Blueprint.
Business blueprint. What is the alternate name for business blueprint?
Documentation.
Brownfield.
Okay. Business blueprint or solution document or solution design document. This you'll have to create. And after that, client sign off on blueprint. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Only after this configuration will come into the picture. Is my statement correct or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You will do the configuration only after this. Without the above points, in any project, any consultant does the configuration or nobody will do it before this.
Nobody will do it.
In any project, in any organization, without these points, nobody, in short, no SAP FICO consultant will do the configuration. Now, when you are learning, when you are practicing, are we looking at these things or straight away we are going to a transaction code, we are starting to create the entries? Majority, how do we practice? Straight away go to a transaction code, look at the material document, look at the screenshot, copy paste, create multiple entries, save it. We feel that yes, I am able to create it, I am able to save it, I am able to post it, I am not getting any errors, I am good. Am I correct?
Yes.
If this is how we are preparing, if this is how we are practicing, how you will understand what is the requirement, what is possible, what is not possible, what is standard, what is custom. Okay, you are not going to understand. You will never even get the thought. You will never even get these points striking your mind, because right from the beginning you are practicing in a different way. You are looking at SAP in a different way. You are practicing SAP in a different way, in which nowhere requirement is coming into your mind. When requirement is not striking your mind, definitely you will be habituated to the same process. Tomorrow when you're in a project, you will feel that, okay, you need to enable this functionality, right? I know there are 10 transaction codes to it. I have the my course content material. I have my previous recording lesson and all. I can do it. That is not going to help you to do it in a project. You have to sit with the client, understand their business process, and map it in SAP, show them this is how it is going to work, understand if it is going to affect, impact any other existing process. If yes, you need to know how to mitigate these points. Only after studying, only after understanding all these consequences, we'll have to move forward. If you do not even know that this is how we will do a configuration, what will happen during your training, during your preparation practice? Straight away we will do the things. But in project, when you know nobody will do it, why do you want to practice? Why do you have to practice like this? So straight away it reveals your practice approach is not correct. The way you are looking at the system is not correct. The way you are understanding the system is not correct. As a result, as you move forward, you are correct from the configuration point of view. You are correct from the configuration point of view. You are correct from the data entry point of view. But when it comes to business requirement, when it comes to talking to somebody as a consultant, when it comes to understanding a client, when it comes to discussing in business process meetings and all, you will find a lot of difficulties. You will face issues, challenges, communicating to other, understanding the practical points that are happening in any project. Because key points, whatever you need to understand as a consultant, key skill set, whatever you need to develop as a consultant, we are ignoring. If we are ignoring this key point, this is going to affect very badly as you move forward. When I say this is going to affect very badly, you cannot fix it later on. This is going to take a long time, because there are 2 points. Point number 1 is your learning. Point number 2, repairing. Which is easy? Learning is easy or repairing is easy?
Learning.
Learning.
Learning is easy. When you are learning, if you learn properly, if you know things in a sequential order, in a right way, the way a consultant works in a project, if you know them in the same sequence, you are good to go. Wherever it is, not necessarily with me, wherever it is, you are good to go. If this is not happening, if this is not happening, many things you know at the configuration level, but you are missing from a practical perspective. Though you know everything, but there are some issues that you need to repair. Agree? You know things from the config point of view and all, but practically they are not correct. There are some misunderstandings. There are certain things that you need to fine tune it. There comes a problem, because you'll have to repair your existing understanding. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For most of the people, this becomes the problem. When I say for most of the people, this becomes the problem. Simple example to give you. Most of the people, you can check with the different people. There is something called trial balance. Everybody knows what is trial balance,
Yes.
right? Everybody is aware trial balance. Is it important in accounting or not important in accounting?
It is very much important.
It is important.
It is
This is
important.
important. You check with the different people. Check with the different people. Point number 1, you check with accounting students. When I say accounting student, maybe people who are studying intermediate, graduation, post-graduation, intermediate, BCom, all these kind of a people, you ask them, is a trial balance important or not? Do they know what is trial balance? Do they know how to prepare a trial balance? Majority, everybody will tell, yes, I know.
Yes.
All the accounting students will tell that, yes, I know what is trial balance. I know how to prepare. Now, talk to people who are working as accountants. They are also aware what is trial balance.
Yes.
Right? Now check with SAP FICO learners. Okay. When I say SAP FICO learner, you can check with your friends who are learning SAP FICO. You can check with your friends, your network, whosoever is there, who already completed SAP FICO training, who are giving job trials. You'll be surprised. You will get both yes and no answer. Anybody is telling, no, I do not know trial balance. No, I have not seen any trial balance in SAP. No, I have not verified a trial balance in SAP. Is it okay or not okay? Acceptable, not acceptable?
Not acceptable.
If I say I am learning SAP FICO from last 1 month, from last 2 months, from last 3 months, or I will tell I completed my SAP FICO training, now I am in search of job trials in SAP FICO, but I have not seen trial balance in SAP so far. No, I have not seen any trial balance, not required. Okay, you're okay with me?
No.
I completed my FICO training, or I'm learning SAP FICO from months. I am posting entries in my practice and all, but I have not seen trial balance. Is my understanding okay or not okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not okay.
Definitely not okay, right? Without a trial balance, how I am posting my entries? Without checking trial balance, if I am posting entries, then I'm not even concerned about the accounting. I'm not even considering this accounting part here. Agree?
Correct.
If I'm considering, definitely I will go and check how my TB is looking like, what values are coming there. If I post an accounting entry, how my TB is getting affected. If I'm not looking at it, then what am I going to do? One point that everybody knows from your interview point of view for SAP FICO, there is something called, whosoever has got background noise, please be on mute while you're not talking. While talking, you can unmute. Later on, please mute immediately. We have month-end activities. We have year-end activities. Anybody heard these two?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Yes, everybody would have heard month-end activity, year-end activity. Now, are these two mandatory from SAP FICO interview point of view or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
course, yeah.
Right? These two are important from SAP FICO point of view. Every person whosoever is preparing for interview, they will definitely sit, prepare about what are month-end activities, what are year-end activities. For every month-end, for every year-end, is it required to prepare a TB or not?
Yes.
It is important.
Right?
Yes,
But
sir.
unfortunately, there are people who do not know trial balance, but who know month-end activity, year-end activity. There are in fact many people who do not know about trial balance properly, who do not check trial balance in SAP, but they still prepare month-end activity, year-end activity checklist. They will tell step-by-step sequence, theoretically. Okay, step number 1, we need to open the period. Step number 2, we need to close the period. Step number 3, maintain exchange rate, run GRIR program, post depreciation and all. Why are we doing on a monthly basis? Because you have to close the trial balance. You have to freeze the TB. Yes or no?
Yes.
If I do not close my trial balance, if I'm not freezing my trial balance, I cannot prepare my P&L balance sheet, because P&L balance sheet both are prepared from trial balance only. Agree?
Yes.
Your P&L, your balance sheet, it will be prepared from trial balance. To prepare a trial balance, you'll have to perform a month-end activity. Right? These impact why we are doing all this logically, conceptually. We will not try to understand. We will only try to understand from SAP point of view. What is the month-end checklist? Okay, there are 12 steps. Let me by heart these 12 steps. They will by heart the 12 step. They will by heart the transaction code and all. They will tell the same thing. But logically, they don't try to understand what it is, why it is happening. If you try to understand these points, you don't need to by heart anything. Automatically, you will remember everything. You don't need to by heart anything. If you know the flow, if you know the process, you can easily understand, because everybody is familiar with accounting, right? More or less, everybody is familiar with accounting. And when you're learning, when you're starting your SAP FICO journey with debit credit onwards, by default, you will get to know everything in a sequential order. So you do not have to by heart anything. You have to remember things in such a way. Whenever somebody is giving a scenario, whenever somebody is putting a question, please make sure you're in a position to understand it from a business point of view, from the accounting point of view. Don't take a question as a, the descriptive question. Don't try to give the answer. Know the question, accordingly give your answer. So this is where the other person will easily get to know what is your level of understanding on the subject. Right? And if you see, surprisingly, SAP FICO consultants also, there are consultants who do not know, who will give you both yes no answers. There are consultants also who will give yes no. There are people. So when you know there are people knowing trial balance, there are people unknowing the trial balance also, in learning SAP FICO stage, in working on SAP FICO stage also. So imagine the people level of understanding. So considering these points, when you are preparing right from the beginning on a level which is required for you to be confident in any market, in any organization, in any project, with any project, you will not have to fear, you will not have to worry for anything, because you will be comfortable enough, you will be confident enough to handle independently. Do not have any dependency. When I say do not have any dependency, these are all the logical things, these are all understanding related things. When we say these are all the logical thing, these are all understanding related thing, you'll have to make sure at the understanding level you are good at. Okay, when I say at the understanding level you have to be good at. If you are getting stuck at a configuration level, it is okay. If you are getting stuck at the configuration level, when I say it is okay, you Google it, you will get what is the configuration. You YouTube it, you will get the configuration. You ask your friend, somebody will tell you T code for the configuration, or from your friends and all, you will get the configuration document material. Agree?
Yes.
But when it comes to understanding, you are not able to understand something. Is Google going to make you understand?
No.
Is YouTube going to make you understand? Is your friend or somebody is going to sit with you, make you understand? Nobody will make you understand, because this is the complicated task for anybody to do, because nobody can read what is in your mind, right? It is
Yes.
not like that something I will tell you one liner you will understand. There are many things to be interconnected. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. When practicing only will understand.
Right? There are so many things which are interconnected. Straight away I cannot tell something, I cannot expect you to understand. There are many things that you need to know before you understand something. That is where everybody is more focused on your conceptual knowledge on SAP FICO from the business point of view, not on your configuration. If my requirement is to know only the configuration for a consultant, I am more than fine with a fresher. Agree? Because fresher will see to do more configuration, he will by heart all the steps. They have more memory power, right? Because they are fresh pass outs. They're all very energetic to work in the organization and all. They're more comfortable with working, extending and all. But why everybody is behind an experienced candidate? Reason, experienced candidate will think, will analyze from the accounting point of view, from the business point of view. They'll be in a position to give recommendations, suggestions to the client. No, this is the best way to do it. This way, this will not work. This will be a problem in future. As a consultant, as an experienced consultant only, you can do it. Am I correct?
Yes.
If I get an experienced consultant in my project, I don't need to make you sit and then explain everything. I'll simply tell you, Mr. A, we have to do this thing to the client. Can you please work on it? I will tell only in one liner, but you have to sit and then work different things related to it. You cannot expect me to explain everything in detail, right? In the project. Agree? Like I'm explaining it to a fresher.
Yes.
Right, somebody will tell you prepare a small short note on this, prepare a small presentation on this. I think we're trying to test one scenario. There is a problem, can you please check this error? You're not supposed to ask me what are you testing, what entry you are posting, can you show me once? You're not supposed to do it. By looking at the error, these 1-2 points, whatever the other person is telling, please make sure you're able to connect it to what they're referring to, sit and solve it. This is possible only with your learning, only with your understanding, only with your right preparation practice. Otherwise, you will end up doing the configuration, you will end up learning the configuration which will not allow you to talk to other person. Forget about a user, you cannot even talk to another consultant, you cannot even talk to your project team. Imagine when you're in a project, when somebody is asking for a help, when somebody is talking about something, as a consultant, please be in a situation to understand, respond in a positive way. For that, different things are required. When I say for that, different things are required, not just configuration going to help you out. Okay, here, when you're talking about the trial balance, different things will be there. Next point, you need to understand P&L. And then you need to understand balance sheet. Also check with your friends who are learning SAP, who are working in SAP, who are your accounting students and all, who are working as accountant end user. Do they know what is P&L? Do they know how P&L looks like in SAP? Check with them. These are mandatory or not for every organization for every month. For every company, every month, is this mandatory or not?
Yes, made.
This is mandatory. But still, you will get the same answers for this also. Still, you will get the same answer for this also. You don't need to take a complex scenarios and all. Take a simple example. When I say take a simple example, take maybe something like asset 100, liability 100, okay, expense 40, let's say income 50, something like that. You take any number, and according to you, let's say my P&L is going to be 10 rupee profit. Okay, my P&L is going to be 10 profit, and my asset liability is going to tally at 100 each. Okay, my asset value will be 100, liability value will be 100. By taking a pen paper, by taking an Excel sheet, within a minute you can plot this or not? Very basic
Yes.
one, with one asset, with one liability, with one income, with one expense like this. Is it easily possible to prepare P&L balance sheet in Excel sheet in a paper within 1 minute or not for everyone?
Possible.
Yes, no? Right? If no, you'll have to sit and work on it, because these are all the basic fundamental parameters you'll have to check before you get into SAP FICO. If you're not able to take by taking a simple number on your own choice, this is not an exam, nobody is asking you anything. You think, okay, how can I prepare a P&L balance sheet with my own imaginary figures? Take a single account, single expense you take, single income you take, single asset you take, single liability you take. Prepare a P&L, prepare a balance sheet, make sure your asset liability tallies. That's all. Now, by looking at these four, okay, how can I bring this profit in my SAP? Then you should know how to do, what to do. Check with your friends, how can you see this P&L in SAP? From where P&L comes? Is it straight away by default in SAP or we need to set up in SAP? What is the transaction code for P&L in SAP? Now you start putting a T codes for this. Ask the configuration for this to your friends. How profit and loss account is configured in SAP, not how company code is configured in SAP, not how chart of account is created in SAP, not what is the T code for fiscal year in SAP. Ask these kind of questions. Question yourself with these kind of things, which are practically used, which are mandatory for every FICO consultant. Then you will get to know, okay, to know this, there are so many things. In this way, automatically everything you have to do it. When I say automatically you have to do everything, now you have a requirement in your mind. Okay, this is what I'm writing. If I do manual accounting, I'm getting 10 rupee profit. I have only 4 entries. Okay, let me do it in SAP. How can I get these 4 entries in SAP? First of all, to record one accounting entry in SAP, is it possible to record an accounting entry directly in SAP?
No, sir.
No. You need to set up the system. Agree? Is it possible for you to directly set up the system, or you need to understand the business process?
Understand the business process.
Right? You need to understand the business process to set up SAP. When nobody in this world is setting up directly SAP FICO, why do you want to set up when you're practicing? You'll have to question yourself. When no consultant in this world doing SAP configuration just like that on their own, without getting the requirement from the client, without finalizing the requirement, without getting the sign off approval, nobody in this world is configuring SAP system. Why do I need to configure in my learning? Why am I not even thinking at least one time, is this how am I going to work in the project? No. Because most of the times what we will do to create a company code, to create whatsoever, we will go to SAP and then straight away create whatever we want. Majoritarily, we will go to SAP screen and then we will see, okay, what I need to create. We will start thinking like an innovative, creative thinker. We will try to create a configuration majoritarily during the practice. If you get an idea, it is okay. If not, fancy number 1, 2, 3, 4, keyboard, randomly you press 4 digit, you will save the entry. Many will do like that. Meaning they create the configuration, but they do not know why they are creating like that. They will never think that, okay, let me check my trial balance now. They will never see, let me check my trial balance now. They will never see, let me check my account balance now. They will never try to check, okay, what is my account balance? How do I analyze this account balance? If anything goes wrong here, how do I rectify this? We will never even think. We will post one accounting entry. We are only focused on the bottom messages. Created, saved, posted, displayed like this. You don't want a red light, meaning you don't want to get any error. As long as you are not getting any error, you feel that you are achieving something great, but it is not. It is not. Okay, if I know that you are learning SAP FICO, if I know that you practiced SAP FICO on a particular topic, let's say you are learning SAP FICO from last 3 months, last 4 months, I just started my SAP FICO learning. I have a doubt. I will ask you, my dear friend, can you please tell me how to see trial balance in SAP? I am asking you because you are learning SAP FICO from last 3 months, from last 4 months, from last 2 months, or you are now attending SAP FICO interviews. I will simply ask you, I have a doubt on trial balance. Can you please tell me how can I check my TB in SAP? If you are in a position to answer, it is okay. If you are not in a position to answer, is it okay?
No.
If you are not in a position to answer for a simple question, how to check TB in SAP, definitely not okay. And first of all, if you talk about any project, any implementation project in SAP, first of all, will anybody consider an experienced candidate without implementation experience?
No.
No.
Right? In the initial call itself, everybody will ask, what is your total experience? What is your relevant experience? How many implementations you have been part of? Agree? If you tell no, I was not part of any implementation project, they will not schedule the interview. They will not shortlist. Now, will any implementation project complete without a trial balance?
No.
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 Can you complete any implementation project without a trial balance? Is this practically possible?
No.
No, impossible. No SAP project will go live without a trial balance upload. Everybody must have heard something called legacy data upload, legacy data migration, opening balance upload, cutover activity. Anybody heard this terminology?
Yes.
Yes.
Legacy data upload, data migration, opening balance upload, cutover activity, everything is straight away connected to trial balance. Straight away this is connected to trial balance. And whenever you practice, you assume that I am implementing, my practice is based on implementation. Am I correct? Because the moment you are creating a new company code, it is either an implementation or it is a rollout. Agree? If you are creating a company code, it is either an implementation or a rollout. Is my statement correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Any implementation project, any rollout project is incomplete without a trial balance. Agree? Any SAP implementation project, any SAP rollout project is not completed without trial balance. Is my statement true or not true?
Yes. True.
Yes, it is true.
Right? Because without giving your legacy data balances, how you will hand over system to client? Clients needs business continuity, right? Whatever is there in the legacy system till yesterday should be there in my SAP system from today. That's where you're talking about opening balance upload. What is opening balance in accounting?
Carry forward balance.
Carry forward balance.
Previous day closing balance will come the next day
Right?
opening balance.
In short, previous closing balance is basically opening balance. So your client will give you closing balances. You will upload the closing balance so that it will become opening balance in SAP. So your client will give closing balance in the form of trial balance. And when you do a practice, all the time, whenever you do practice, you will create a company code. Agree? Whenever you are creating a company code, you will start posting the entries and all, but we will not realize most of the time that there is something called a trial balance. At what stage a trial balance is required, how you will upload the trial balance, these points we will not even try to understand. Without understanding these points, whatever the practice preparation we're doing is not going to give you a clear understanding. Because the way a project happens in a project, in any organization, in any real environment, the way you practice, the way you prepare, the way you configure your testing environment during your learning, it has to be the similar. If it is similar, you will find comfortable, you will find confident while talking to the other person. Otherwise, whatever we do at the beginning or whenever you learn SAP FICO, at the beginning especially, we are all very interested, we are all very curious about doing SAP FICO course. You will try to spend extra hours to practice and all. At this time only, you need to load practical points into your mind. When I say practical points into your mind, load content in such a way that when you talk to the other person, nobody should say you're wrong. Whatever you talk, whatever happens in the project, it has to be the same. When you're at the beginning, with more interest, with more curiosity, put this content in your mind. So that when you're in a project tomorrow, you don't need to get any confusion. There are many things that you can learn on your own also. There are so many things in FICO. If your basic fundamentals are correct, if your basic understanding is proper, many things you can learn on your own in SAP FICO. You have to get that knowledge. You have to get that confidence so that you will feel more secured in your project, in your job. That any requirement which is coming in, you will feel that yes, I can work on it. Even though I did not work on this before, yes, I know how to work on it. That confidence is supposed to be gained from your side. And that is the whole objective of your learning, not to know the configuration, not to see the configuration. To see the configuration, please refer YouTube. To know the configuration, please refer different Google content, whatever you are getting. If the objective of your SAP FICO course, SAP FICO learning is to watch the configuration, see how to set up the system, please watch YouTube videos for free of cost. You get variety of videos from different sources for free of cost. You don't need to invest even a single rupee for it. You're expecting for a course content material, step-by-step material, please Google it, SAP FICO material, SAP FICO configuration document. You get variety of documents. Look at, choose whatever you wanted to choose. You get so many options for free of cost. But when you're paying money, please make sure you're not paying money to know the configuration. You're not paying money to see the configuration. The objective is to understand how you're doing the configuration, understand how to get the business requirement, understand how to map it, understand how you're going to do what you're going to do as a consultant in the project. In short, develop that consulting skill set. Develop that consulting skill set. For knowing that consulting skill set, for developing that consulting skill set, you're paying money, not for configuration. The moment you realize it, you will know what you need to do. If you not realize it, you will realize it later on. At that stage, you will be at a situation where you have to repair. The later realization will put you in a situation where you have to repair. Because you know everything correct, but it is like a puzzle game. You have all the pieces, but when you put everything together, it is not giving the shape that you are looking for. So for you to put a shape, you have to change every order. Maybe top one you are putting at the bottom, bottom one you are putting at the right side one you are putting at the left side. It is like a puzzle. If you are able to understand things in a logical way, you don't need to put anything in proper way. Otherwise, what will happen? You do not know, once it is detached, again you do not know how to attach it. Right? So understand things in a logical way so that you don't need to put more effort. You have to be smart. When I say you have to be smart, understand, know the things in such a way that you will be able to understand, manage any situation once you are in the project. To get into the project, to get a job, you need to clear the interview. Interview, as I said, is 30 minutes. In fact, to be very honest, to get SAP FICO job by clearing interview, you do not have to join SAP FICO course. Let me be very honest with you. To clear SAP FICO interview, you do not have to join any SAP FICO course. Whatever the content that is available for free of cost in the YouTube, in the Google, by referring to it, anybody can easily clear SAP FICO interview. 100% anybody can clear this. Because SAP FICO interview questions are leaked in the market openly. You ask anybody, everybody will tell you for SAP FICO, you have to know document splitting, you have to know automatic payment, you have to know bank reconciliation, you have to know integrations, you have to know taxation, you have to know asset accounting, you have to know implementation project, S4 HANA, Fiori applications, controlling, these kind of thing. Everybody tells, yes, no? You are also aware?
Yes.
For all these things, if you Google it, if you YouTube it, you don't get the content. You will get or not? In 30-minute interview about these points, how long one can talk? Not more than 2-3 minutes, hardly 5 minutes. Is it a tough task to clear the interview?
No.
You don't need to join any course to clear your interview. You are joining a course not for clearing your interview. Keep in your mind. If the intention is to get a job, Somebody might say that, sir, first we need to get the job, right? To get the job, you need to clear the interview. For that, I am openly telling you don't need to join any FICO course. Refer YouTube videos. Refer SAP FICO materials, content, whatever is there in Google. Without any issue, without any difficulty, 100 out of 100%, you will be able to clear the interview for SAP FICO. No doubt about it. No second thought, 100% you'll clear the interview. You'll have to question yourself, why are you learning SAP FICO? Is it to clear the interview, or is it to manage your project, manage your job after getting the interview? Right? The moment you realize all these points, then only it will make sense for what decision you're going to take, how you're going to move forward with your career path. Else, you will be at a situation later on you have to repair it. Currently you are learning it, but later on don't come to a situation your learning has got some flaws, it has to be repaired. Unfortunately, there are many in the market who are at a stage where they are in a situation to repair their understanding. Repairing is very difficult for anybody because you are more confused. Earlier I understood like this, earlier I practiced like this, earlier I did in this way, earlier I followed this logic, but why this now? You will get a lot of questions in your mind, you will get a lot of confusions in your mind. Overcoming these confusions, questions will take very long time. It's a very tricky task for anybody. If you're not doing it properly, you will end up giving up SAP. Simple thing that will happen is you will end up giving up SAP, meaning you will tell, this is not going to work out, let me quit, I'll go back to my previous job, let me try something else. This is what happens with most of the people, because they realize the things later on. By the time they realize, they would have already wasted some months of time, because it is not an easy task for them. They realize that many things that I understood, many things that I prepared, many things I know are not correct, or many things I did not even know, many things I did not even understand, many things I have not even covered, touched. It's very difficult for me to spend time, sit again. No, I have many, lot of pressure from family and all. People will quit. There are so many reasons. You have to practically think about all the possible things that are happening in SAP FICO. Only then you'll have to take a call. It is not that somebody told you or you decided that you will do it. At the initial stage, everybody will think, no, it's okay, no problem, I'm ready to put my 100% effort. It is not your 100% effort, it is the other way around also. You're ready to put effort, but your effort should be in the right way. So you should know the right path. If you know the right path, if you know the right content, then only your 100% effort will give you 100% result. If your effort is 100%, path is incorrect, you will end up going in a wrong destination. Right? Don't think that I will put 100% effort, I will dedicatedly sit. Somebody will tell, I will quit my job, I will take 1 week leave, 2 weeks leave. Things will not work like that in SAP FICO. No shortcut. You have to sit and do it. Okay, no shortcuts, you'll have to sit and do it. Keep in your mind, it is not as easy as you're thinking. Don't think that it is so easy. Don't think that, okay, I know all this kind of thing. Whatever you're thinking about SAP FICO, that SAP FICO is freely available in the market. Majoritarily, whatever other person thinks, it's only the configuration you need to know, you need to do one cycle of all the configuration, not one cycle. Many cycles are already available in YouTube for free of cost. Get it for free of cost only. Please don't waste your money. Please don't waste your time also. If you are thinking that kind of SAP FICO is going to get you the job, is going to give you the career, please get it for free of cost. Don't pay money for it. If you are paying money for it, please understand why you are paying money. Please understand why you are paying money and make sure for your money you get the right content. Not the Google content, not the free content. If you are unable to differentiate between these things, nobody can help. When I say nobody can help, you will end up a stage where you have to repair your SAP FICO. Remember, repairing is a tough task for anybody. This is something that one has to realize individually, not that somebody will influence you, not that somebody will tell you. It is something one has to realize individually. The moment you start realizing the points, then you will take the right decision. Otherwise, you will be held responsible for your decision. Nobody you can blame. Tomorrow you cannot blame, no, they told me to join, or you told it will be very good, you told I will get this much package, I will get that much package, you can get the job within 2 months, within 3 months and all. You cannot blame anybody. It is your mistake to blindly believe. It is your mistake to blindly believe. It is your mistake not to research. It is your mistake not to know different things, not to gather the information before you step into SAP FICO. Purely your mistake. You cannot blame anybody, because you are blindly joining, assuming after 3 months I will get a FICO job. This is possible only in the dream. This is possible only in the dream. In reality, it is not. Strictly not possible. I don't need to lie to you. I don't need to manipulate you, because tomorrow you will know the reality. Tomorrow, when you know the reality, you should not think that he did not tell us at the beginning so that we would not have joined. I'm telling you at the beginning. It is okay even if you don't join me, but it is not okay you join me, later on you try to blame me that we are not aware of these things, we thought it is very simple. I am only telling this is not simple. I am only telling this is not possible in 3 to 4 months. Meaning you'll have to realize. I am only telling you can get it for free of cost in YouTube also. I am only telling you'll get it for free of cost in Google also. Right? I am only telling you check with the different people also. People who are learning, people who already completed the trainings, people who are attending interviews, people who are working in SAP FICO as consultant. Talk to different people, check with the different people, have your own study, have your own understanding, have your market research analysis. Only then come to a conclusion, take a decision. Because at the end, it is your career, not about the money that you are spending. It is about the decision that you are going to take with respect to your career. Don't spoil it by taking an incorrect decision or decision without thinking through properly, because later on these things will create a very bad impact on your future. Because as you move forward, we don't even think that no, I already tried SAP, it didn't work out, it's not so easy as we think. You will be like, you'll talk like a very a vintage person who lost everything, which is not possible. No, it is not possible with me. There are many like that. Right? You have to be careful, you have to be smart enough. It's not that you don't know anything, you're so innocent and all. Everybody is smart enough. Everybody has got their own network. Use your network, talk to different people, gather the information, then take the decision. Simple. Because at the end, it is not about your losing money, it is not about your spending money, it is about impacting your career. If you are not able to put your efforts and all, whatever the job that you are currently doing, you may be happy there, be happy there only. Don't come out here at the end, you lose your existing job, you will not get a job in SAP also. There are many like that. There are so many people like that. Just like that, they thought, okay, 3 months course will give a double-digit fancy figure salary. Not like that. If it is the situation in your surrounding, everybody is a FICO consultant, but unfortunately, it is not. Unfortunately, not everybody is a FICO consultant. Meaning there is something. There is some missing thing is there. There are some hidden terms and conditions. Read those points. Understand those points clearly. I know everybody is smart. Use your smart network. Think innovatively, and then analyze. Then take a decision if it is suitable to you or not. Reject SAP if it is not suitable. Don't reject yourself. Don't think that I am not suitable for SAP. Think SAP is not suitable to me. Maybe something else is waiting for me. Go learn some other thing. Or leave it, just continue whatever you're doing. Don't unnecessarily disturb your career because of learning SAP FICO. If you have any other thoughts in your mind, somebody told or I thought it will give a good career, it will give a good salary. If these kind of fantasies are there in your mind, please open your eyes, think properly, talk to different people, and then come to a conclusion. All right. Fine, then let me stop this here. Remaining portion we will continue in the tomorrow's session. All right. Fine, then. So we'll connect at the same time tomorrow in the evening. Good night.
Have a nice day.